death to pretenders. Niggas try to put me in the blender, no surrender. Off with a nigga head if you try to enter. I be laying across the bed with your bopper in the winter. She proper, I sock it in her. The profit skyrocket, you cop it and chop it in her. Small amounts, you rock it and get them all about. Fiends do the dance like Puff when we come through. Powder for they nose and some weed for they lungs too.
Baby, be patient, my mama saying his mama praying. Key scales, niggas playing like Amadeus. Night train of thought is circulating, my circle made it. Work on the table, nigga, we purple taping. Spare time.
We don't want your money. We need your mind.
Yes, y'all.
Alright. And I need you, and you.
Dear God, I wonder can you save me from seeing evil? CeeLo Green, does that mean that I'm crazy? I see my peoples lean on me like Morgan in the 80s. Cause we the people busy boning, smoking, getting lazy. We thuggish, rugged, sluggish. Ain't it something? How we grown accustomed? Fuck them. We don't love them. We just want it, but we want it. Let's keep it 100. My Benjamin Button. I put my love.
Yo. What's up, everybody? All Gas, No Breaks podcast. Super Saiyan Sanji here with a special guest. We have my man Judah here. Judah, thank you for coming on the show. Can you please tell us where we can locate you? Normally, I guess provide their Instagram, their website, and I'll put it down there. And if you can just let them know.
You can get me on Twitter at Judah on the Beats. I just got on IG when the pandemic started, so I'm kind of new to that world.
Okay.
So it's Judah used to make beats. And I mean, that's two places you can find me.
Word.
You know what I mean?
Why used to make beats?
Because I don't sit around and make beats all day anymore.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I do a lot of other things, and I make beats when I'm inspired or somebody come to me with something that's, interesting to me. So, it's just a play, a little cynical, a little, little play on it, self-deprecating,
nice,
you know what I mean?
So if they get you to make beats, they've got you to do something.
Yeah. It really has to be something that I like to do. You know what I mean? So
I like that.
Yeah. We here.
Oh, my bad. What else you about to say?
I say we here.
Oh,
no,
man,
all breaks.
All gas, no breaks.
All gas, no breaks.
All day, man. That's all we love to do over here. Who's Sam? Another special guest, man.
Yes, sir. How are you?
I've been great. How you been?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Who's Sam? Who has introduced us to you? He was like, "Yo,
small world."
Yes. He was like, "You got to get this guy on the show," and he was like, "Yo, you get him?" I was like, "Man, I'm waiting when he's ready."
Right.
He's like,
right.
I was like, then you hit me up. I was like, "Yo, 4:00."
Right.
So, man, we thank you for introducing us to Judah, and I've been diving in. The music is dope. Everything is dope. How you been, brother? And you have a new project out right now. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I just released a new song called "Make It." It's on all platforms. You can find me online. Just type in Husam Music, HUSAM Music. You get everything. My Instagram, website, all my platforms. Should be very easy to find me.
Very simple, he says. Yo, and to my left, my man from NYC, still here in the DMV with us, man. Witches, how you been, and where can we find you?
Yeah, I've been good. Just chilling, trying to get this money for real. But you can find me on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, anywhere at VVITCHES __.
That's where he's at.
There you go.
That's where he's at. You have to think about it. They had to make sure they knew.
Yeah, because last time, you already know.
You messed up your name last time?
Yeah, towards the end.
You got the underscores. I was like, dude, underscore. I edit these joints. So I was like, I know it's 2 underscores, dog. So, yo, this is what we do. You're new to the show. If you can pull out a question, we're going to answer this question. Let's see what this is about to ask.
What's the best type of cheese? This is for me or for y'all?
That's for you.
Provolone, man.
Provolone.
The health benefits?
Yeah, provolone is fire.
Okay.
Sandwich, whatever. Provolone.
Shout out Provolone.
Yeah,
Shout out to provolone.
Yeah.
What's your cheese of choice?
I like Swiss.
Like Swiss?
Yeah, I like Swiss. I don't know, the taste, and holes. That's pretty cool, I guess.
And the holes in the cheese.
Pretty cool.
And the holes. I mean, it's the only cheese with holes.
Yeah,
Right? I don't know of any other
different,
cheese with
yeah.
holes.
It's different.
That's red. All right, bet. Shout out to Swiss. What's your favorite cheese, man?
I got to go with cheddar cheese.
Cheddar cheese.
Cheddar's fire, too.
Yeah, cheddar cheese.
I'm a cheddar fan. Why cheddar for you?
I mean, just the taste. Everything else is like, it's alright, but cheddar
Cheddar.
cheese, especially like on a burger,
Yeah,
you just
yeah.
took off the grill. For real though.
Man.
Sharp cheddar. I'm a sharp cheddar guy. I like cheddar, but I'm gonna put sharp on it. The sharper, the better for me. I like that.
What's sharp cheddar?
You gotta try it.
It's a subset of cheddar.
Cheddar, there's a mild, there's a medium cheddar. Then
That's
there's a
upset.
I don't know what a sharp cheddar is.
Hilarious. Hey, yo, almost, how am I forget this? Shout out to my boy at Rex Corollas, the engineer over there. He's tuned us up right before this. We had a little technical difficulties, but once again, he bounced in quickly. We took care of it. Shout out to at Rex Corollas. Shout out to Aquana Diva Vollins. She wasn't able to make it, but shout out Quana. Love Quana. She's hilarious. So, a topic that's going on right now. I don't know if you heard about this. Rapper Fetty Wap was arrested on federal drug charges in New York City. Man, what do y'all think about it? What like?
I actually read the story, and they gave kind of a detail of how much narcotics they found and money and everything. And yeah, that's gonna be a tough one. You know what I'm saying? That's a tough one. Is it his? Probably not. Is it someone in his crews? Probably. Or did they say, you know, we can cake up at Rolling Loud? Because that's all. It's a festival. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. But gotta be smarter.
For real.
That's a tough game to be smarter. And that's a real tough game. No matter who you are and whatever status of life, I always tell people that wasn't the game for me. I couldn't figure that motherfucker out.
Right.
You know, that's a tough game to play, and at that level,
Right.
the trouble that's behind that level is
Right.
that's a scary thought.
Right. That's tough.
I pray for the young brother.
Hey, man.
Good luck through that situation. Have y'all heard about that?
Facing life, he said.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For that much and everything. Yeah, that's
Is it that much?
yeah.
Life. That's
It's
real.
I mean, even if you, Kingpin at minimum gets what 10?
Man, I don't know what they get, but
Yeah,
that's a lot, man.
Yeah,
Life
that's
is,
like, but that's not even that much in 10 years they get. I mean,
yeah,
So it happened at a festival. They were trying
yeah,
to sell shit.
yeah. And it kind of looked like, you know, they knew people was gonna be there.
Okay.
They could get it off. You know, everybody partying, getting high, and they knew they could get it off. You know what I mean?
Like,
Yeah.
man, I hope the best for him. I just think there's so many other ways he could have monetized if he wanted to make more.
Music been slow for that man. Though.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, right?
we know what he's been doing instead of making music now.
Yeah, music been slow. You know what I'm saying?
Slow.
Yes, yeah.
So
Man, that boy put out some fire though.
For real, though.
I was a fan of that music, yo. I ain't gonna lie, that shit was dope.
he had a run, didn't he?
He had a nice one too. It was a nice. He could have had a nice follow up. I felt. I was waiting for the follow up.
Yeah, and it's funny, right? Because you always ask yourself, like, you know, what happened, right?
Yeah.
And you know, most people just make the same songs over and over again. Why couldn't he make the same songs over and over again? What happened?
I would've
What
listened.
actually happened? And that's a good question. Was it him or was it the people behind him? What happened?
Was it a label
What
issue?
happened?
Yeah, I would like to know, because that was good music. I felt like I never heard that type of sound before. And coming out of New Jersey, you know, we haven't heard that from New Jersey I felt like in a long time that, like that. I was like, oh, that's what y'all been doing? Oh, that shit's fire.
What happened, man?
Man.
And he had a unique tone too.
Very unique.
And unique look. Too.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And he made it work for him.
Yeah,
Homeboy was on fire. Homeboy was on fire.
yeah,
Whew. Tough one. God bless that brother.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully get through that situation.
yeah.
Yo, next, have y'all ever seen Will Ferrell's Elf?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He never did a part 2.
Never.
Never did a part 2, and he spoke about it on SNL. And I think it was like money was an issue. You know, I think he didn't get what he wanted, and I guess they made so much. I think it made like $223 million or something like
The
that.
joint's so funny.
Like it was like I know a million a bit. I forgot the exact number. I want to get that number, but it was hilarious.
And what they still making?
Oh, they're still making money. You know.
Because the joint is on TNT.
Yeah.
It's on TV every
Christmas.
Christmas season.
It don't even got to be around Christmas time.
Nah.
They'll just play it.
I mean, I watch it.
Yeah.
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
I do.
Joint funny.
What's your favorite scene in that movie?
There's so many scenes in that joint. It's so many scenes. The Bama is just naturally funny.
Yeah.
That he don't really have to say nothing. It's just
His
naturally.
presence.
Yeah. His
Just looking at him walk into a room.
Yeah,
makes me
or a
laugh.
small ass elf outfit. It's just funny, man. Funny. Step Brothers, like, come on.
Oh yeah,
That's a classic. That's a classic.
Classic.
Come on.
Okay, I got one for Ricky Bobby.
Come
Talladega
on, man.
Talladega
Nights.
Nights, man.
Come on, man.
I feel like that was the
not
ultimate.
first, you last.
For me, that was okay. Ferry Will Ferrell movie.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you this. You gotta see Eastbound and Down.
I have seen these. I've seen the whole thing
When he shows up in Eastbound and Down as the car salesman.
with the gray hair.
Yes. Like, this man is funny, man.
Oh,
Hey, he's hilarious.
when
Man.
they had the race.
Yes, when they had the race, or when he, when he had his homeboy like shining the tires on a car, or when you gotta. This dude is funny, man. He's hilarious. You know what I'm saying? So, what he did in Eastbound and Down is like a classic
Completely.
comedy show. You know what I'm
Completely.
saying?
I love Eastbound and Down. He's also slept on. I felt that comedian. I won't forget his
Danny
name.
McBride.
Danny McBride. Okay. Off topic. Have you seen him play Principals?
Principals,
Vice
yes.
Principals?
Yes.
That shit was hilarious.
That was hilarious too.
That shit was ridiculous.
Funny. We going off because it's all HBO stuff.
Yeah.
But this joint was funny,
But
man.
I felt like no one ever seen it. I'm like, if you ain't never seen
Vice Principals, yeah.
Sleeping on Vice Principals.
And there's a joint where he was in the church family that came on HBO too. I forgot the
Church
name.
Family.
Yeah, that came on
that
after
had me
that.
on one. What's it
yeah.
called?
I'm gonna give you the information, but this joint on HBO where they were a family, like a mega church family. It's hilarious.
He got to be funny. Southern?
Yes.
Oh.
Funny. I'll give you the
You
information.
got to give it to me.
Yeah.
I'm a TV buff.
Yep.
Real quick.
I'm gonna have to keep a list.
I always tell you, he doesn't watch
Bro,
TV.
I disappoint everybody with TVs and movies. They're like, yo, you seen this? I'm like, no, sorry.
Yo, I just put him on Juice.
Wow.
Yeah.
He just watched Juice with me at the house. He's never seen Juice.
What you think about it?
I mean, I just feel like there was a row of movies that encapsulated that like 90s feel. Juice was definitely one of them.
Right.
That Above the Rim, he showed me
Right.
Above the Rim.
Okay.
How
How old are you?
Above the Rim.
How old are you?
18,
Oh, so yeah, you definitely you was born, not even born when it came out.
for real.
Wow.
So it's just good to just sit and see a movie like that because
It wasn't Juice, it was Above the Rim.
oh yeah, Above the Rim, yeah.
Juice, my bad.
You
It
gotta
was
see
Tupac.
Juice too.
You gotta see
Yeah.
Above the Rim, King of New York. It's a lot of
He
stuff.
showed, and then that Dave Chappelle,
Killing Me Softly.
Killing Me Softly, the Brock Party joint.
the other one.
Killing Me Softly when he did at the Warner.
Warner Theater. Yeah.
That
I was
old
at
joint?
I was at the Warner Theater.
You was at that event?
Yeah, I was at a few of those tapings. They did a few tapings there. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm gonna give you that on that.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's fire.
Yeah.
That's a classic.
Yeah.
That's a classic. Because that was when he did the Sesame Street in the hood joint. That killed me. So I put him on to that.
Gotcha.
Wait, what was the movie with him and his friends getting high?
Oh, they saw Half Baked.
Half
Half
Baked.
Baked.
You never seen Half Baked.
Yeah, that's wild. Like, like 18. There's so much stuff. And I know y'all got y'all vibe and what y'all into now, but there's so much stuff that y'all missed that, molded us. You know what I'm
It
saying?
made y'all the way
yeah.
y'all is.
Yeah.
Stuff that influenced y'all.
Yeah.
That's why I like being around older people though, because I could get that insight. At the same time, still keep up with like what kids my age is doing now. So it'll give me that like happy medium.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so much dope stuff out there, man, that, bro, if I definitely am happy that I was born when I was born, and I witnessed Big, I witnessed Pac, I witnessed Michael Jackson.
Like, that must have been crazy.
I witnessed, the first like black quarterback to win a Super Bowl. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I still witnessed the first black president. Like I
It's
got
crazy.
to witness
It's crazy.
so much dope stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm 43.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of progression.
So like that's, unfortunately, I know y'all gonna have some more great times as y'all get older, but still the stuff that we witness, man, it's phenomenal. So
And it's molding a lot of what they're watching right now. Like, I'm watching the movies, I'm like, man, Transformers was ahead of their time in the cartoon. Like, they were writing some good shit at Hasbro. You know what I mean? Like, I was watching, I go back and I binge old stuff because I'm like, what, like you said, molded me. And that TV was molding me. I was not gonna lie. I was a TV. I wasn't outside getting in trouble. I was inside just watching what they was putting on the TV.
right.
But I was entertained.
Right.
It wasn't bad. I was entertained.
Right.
You know, Sesame Street was even dope.
Right.
For real.
I mean, do you notice that a lot of the new movies nowadays are just remakes of old shit? It seems like they have a hard time.
How do you feel about
Shit.
that? How do you feel about the remakes that they're doing of old shit?
I mean, it's like this stuff is old. Like some of this stuff is really old. Like
what?
Like Disney remakes. They're like 90s. They came
Have
out
you
in the
watched
90s, early
some of the
2000s.
Disney remakes?
No.
Watch some of them shits.
They're coming out with a new
Them
Buzz
shits is fire.
Lightyear. A
I'm-
new
I'm
Buzz
gonna be
Lightyear
honest with
movie.
you.
But it's the same story. And I'm saying it's not.
But watch
remake.
what they did to the shit though. Like I don't care about Cinderella and all that, but the Disney animation of the real life Cinderella was crazy. I watched Aladdin with Will Smith. That shit was crazy. It was crazy. I was like, this is crazy.
Technology, right?
That technology. It looked like a genie, and then you got a nice TV. The shit even looks more realistic. I'm like, damn, they're not playing out here. So I do like it because I do like seeing the progression.
Sure.
Like I like the Star Wars.
Right.
I dig them.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? How do you feel about it? How do you feel about it?
I mean, I love it. I mean, at the end of the day, like, that's just the world we in. They're always going to remake everything. They're going to remake all the songs. They're going to remake all the movies. I mean, it's just what they got to do, though. You know what I'm saying? It's because there's nothing new out there anymore. It's nothing that has not been done. We're in a world where nothing has not been done. That's crazy to think, right? For the most part, there are some very grandiose things like, a man going to the moon as a civilian. You get what I'm saying? But most people on average can't do that.
No, not at all.
But I mean, I think it's cool. I mean, because it just gives us the opportunity for the youngins like him to go back and see the original. You get what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I saw this movie. Well, homie, that's not the original.
Yeah.
What? Are you serious? Nah, here go the original. Came out in 1988. What? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel
so it gives you an opportunity to get some understanding. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I do get a chance to appreciate that, especially being around him.
Reminds me of hip hop tracks when they sample 70s shit, and then all of a sudden you hear the 70s or 80s joint. You're like, wait, that's its own song? No, that was in this hip hop song.
Yeah, that people don't even know it came from something that was already out.
But when you dig deep and you find that original track, though, sometimes you just like, it blows my mind.
Yeah.
Are you watching the Wu-Tang?
I am, man. I am. I'm loving it. The Protect Your Neck episode really hit close to me as a producer because the way that they did that show to kind of show how producers think. Yeah. It was phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? And then it also making me go back and fact check too. Okay. Like that episode when they were at the Fever and ODB was on the stage doing the intro before they performed. Yeah. I actually went back and did some research, and they have a video clip of that. And I was like, yeah, he really did that. He really was talking wild like that in front of white people, saying all that, wild stuff. He was going hard. And so,
Rest in peace.
it's a very awesome show. I mean, I was glad to have witnessed that. That boy Protect Your Neck. You know what I'm saying? I was there for it. Like,
you have a Wu shirt?
I had a Wu shirt. I had that cassette, the CD. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just so I was happy to see it, be a part of it, and it's nostalgia for me. You know what I'm saying? So I love it.
Have you guys watched the show?
We're disappointed you, my boy.
I've been trying to put both of these.
Don't even look my direction. When you ask, just look that direction.
No, I'm still going to ask it because I've been trying. I've been like, there's certain things. I understand these guys are busy. They're about business. I'm an older guy myself. But I also tell them, don't miss out on what's going on around you.
Right.
Because there's some cool shit going on right now. That's really big.
Right.
And check it out because it might just give you some thought of what's going on and help with whatever you're doing right now. That's all I say. Just calm down a little bit. I used to be like you, man. He's stressing us. Dog, there's so much cool shit going on.
When there'll be plenty of downtime when we travel around the world.
There you go. See, he's setting it up.
I'll be watching the movies.
We're going to binge. But I don't like watching shit 3 times and twice. I watch things twice. I can't do 3.
Yeah.
I can't do twice. I can barely do once.
Nah, for real.
Bruh, sitting still for an hour and a half, I can't do it anymore.
Let me tell you, when I was coming up,
right.
like how so when you were coming up, we didn't have this.
Right.
We'd be in a bathroom with this.
Right.
Close the door. I got kids, man.
Right.
So that's why I make time. I even cook. I'm like, hey, man, I'm gonna cook. TV on.
Yeah.
But anyway, just check it out. Check it out. There's some dope stuff. What y'all? So y'all haven't seen Wu-Tang? That was a good episode. I like the show. The show is amazing. It's blowing my mind. RZA is killing it. I feel like the actors are amazing.
Right.
These young people are bad.
They casted it correctly.
They did.
Casted it correctly. And you know, it's you can tell RZA had majority of the input on it.
I agree.
Which is if it was something negative or something con that I had to say about it was, you know, I know he's a very talented guy and he changed the game, but it's also making him look kind of prophetic or like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And you know, I don't like that type of stuff. Like, bruh, sometimes you just found the right fucking sample. You put it in the right keyboard.
Because you're a producer.
You made the right beat.
Yeah.
You didn't have, like, it's not all like, you know, everything aligned in the stars and the dove came and landed. Like, it's not, all that stuff not prophetic. You just found the right sample at the right time in the right year with the right machine and the right artist. It's just what it is.
And it worked out.
It worked out.
And it worked. I call those God moments.
Right.
I feel like that's when the big man stepped in and helped me out. Or big lady, however you want to put it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yo, my only con then is I wish they would have lip synced some of the songs. Because I'm like, I really like those songs. And some of the artists, they're actors. And you can hear an actor trying to rap. But my man playing Raekwon, shout out that young man. He needs to get some kind
He's a
of
professional. He's been in so many other movies.
That boy
Dope
can
movies.
act.
Yeah, he been in some dope. He been in Dope.
Have you seen the joint? Oh, dope.
Yeah, he was in Dope.
Oh,
Yeah.
fire. Dope.
Yeah.
Then he had a Netflix joint where Will Smith's son was in it, Jaden. I don't know if there was in the Bronx. You seen that one?
Yeah.
That was, he was in that.
He's a like official actor.
That boy
You know
nice.
what I'm saying? Yeah.
He's killing it. And the one playing ODB, he's killing it as well. And shout out to my boy from Baltimore that used to go to Morgan, right? I think Morgan? Playing Method Man.
Davies.
He was out in Baltimore
yeah,
for a
he
little
was
bit, wasn't he?
Maryland, yep.
Yeah, he doing his thing.
Yep.
Good show. Check it out, guys.
All right.
Check it out. There's certain things I'm telling you. Check it out.
Put it on my to-do list.
Do you guys have a question for Judith? We're going to jump into some questions. Because I think y'all need to... These guys are both inspiring artists. They're dope. You've worked with him before. This is my young cuz. And I'm like, yo, I'm out here meeting people that I think you may want to talk to.
Yeah, I actually do got a question.
Yeah, please.
All right, so I heard you earlier talking about how you got more into the business aspect of just the music scene and just being a producer in general. So with that being said, when was the moment that defined like, okay, I'm just about to look at this with a business perspective from now on? Because I know like as an artist myself, like sometimes you can get like a romanticized just view on music making, but there's also other things that come into play that make it as a whole. So
Probably when I was like 24, 25, and I used to go to New York. I used to drive, or you know, like that 4.5 hours to New York, like once a week, twice a week, to take meetings and do stuff. And the level of disrespect and that I was getting, and it didn't really sit well with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I used to do that, pay the money, all the damn tolls, and you know, just to go up. I remember, and I'll say his name. I had a meeting at Jive with John Monopoly one time, who manages Kanye, who used to manage Kanye. And you know, I had the meeting, and you know, I loved that I you know, respected I had the meeting, but dude was eating Chinese food in the
not
meeting,
taking you seriously,
smoking, walking in and out, cut my beats off and started playing his artists. And that's when I was like, you know what? You know, I'm not wasting my time or money doing this anymore. I'm just going to find artists in my area.
Yeah.
And then so after that, because I've been owning the studio since 1999, like a commercial studio in a building. So, you know, I've been doing that for a while. But that kind of changed my perspective, because I just had a little bit more self-respect in that. So then I started finding artists. And, you know, working with artists, doing my own mixtapes, putting out mixtapes, finding artists, networking. And then probably around 2006, 2007, you know, I formed this label called Studio 43.
Studio 43.
And Studio 43 was you know, famous for, we signed Wale, we did UCB, Sexy Lady, which is a big go-go song
Yeah.
for me. You know, and went on to be that first situation for Wale to get him where he was at with Interscope, his first deal.
Wow.
So Kenny Burns, you know, I'm good friends with Kenny Burns, and he's from here, and we started Studio 43, and it kind of sparked some things off for the area.
Yeah.
One of the very first really boutique label, not a street label, because when I first started making beats, I was producing for street labels, hustlers who had bags of money, who wanted to rap a lot, selling out the trunk of their car. So that actual experience just made me be like, you know, I'm just gonna find my own artists, hustle, break artists, and it really taught me a lot about myself. I was proud of myself because I used to make those trips, but then I also was like, you know, I can't stomach that type of treatment anymore. So
Yeah, that's just the wrong energy.
Yeah,
Real.
I'm not gonna do it, and it's a little different perspective because I'm a producer. If I was an artist, it may have been different, right? But as a producer, it was a little different. So that was kind of the experience that kind of changed my trajectory and changed what I was going to do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, coming from an artist, like, I appreciate the fact that you even would do that, because even me being as young as I am, it's very hard to find other people that are as serious about making music as you are. So just to put, you know, whatever position he had aside and to just give yourself that self-respect, I could appreciate that.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah. And you know, at the end of the day, like, you know, you got to make a decision. Some people, like a good friend of mine who's a producer, you know, he wanted to be a big industry producer. So he followed that path, and he, you know, he was willing to deal with that type of treatment. You get what I'm saying? To get where he needed to go. I just knew me, and I was like, you know what?
I felt that.
And there's nothing wrong with what he did. It's nothing wrong with what I did. It's just our personal choices. And we laugh and talk about it all the time, like how he went one route, I went another route, and how our lives are. You know, we're friends, but our lives went two different paths. And he had went on to go sign with Rodney Jerkins and do some stuff with Rodney and do some big records, but then I was always like the independent guy, you know what I'm saying? Find artists, put out records, sell 5,000 records, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go to Oakland, go here.
The
So that was
grind, the grind is different.
I was more independent minded.
Yeah.
And I always said I wanted to have a career like Alchemist or like
Oh, I love
Primo,
Alchemist.
opposed to like a Dr. Dre or somebody. I love them. I love Dre, but I always just wanted to, you know, have that type of career where I can go out and eat and chill and hang out, make beats, do what I wanted to do, know people, move how I want to move.
Yeah.
But I also, from a business aspect, I always like, bro, I want my money up front in cash. I don't want no half up front, back end, none of that. Just give me all my bread up front. And that's the independent world. You know
That
what
is
I'm
the
saying?
independent world.
Yeah. So
You feel like you're more comfortable with that? Like,
I think I'm comfortable either way, but I just know me as because I got a degree in business too.
Okay.
So
from where?
I went to Robert Morris University in Pittsburgh and Bowie State for a year. So I went two places, but one
Congrats
thing,
on that.
thank you. But one thing I realized is that, you know, I'm more of give me my money now
I don't blame
and then I'll flip it.
Yeah.
Opposed to give me my half and then wait till something to release or never get a check at all.
I hear that.
You get what I'm
happens quite
saying?
often. Yeah.
So I was almost, and then I also realized, growing up in DC and understanding and playing around with, you know, the lifestyle, and I understood I always had that crack dealer's mentality.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is I knew there were more independent artists and labels that say had 5-10 grand opposed to more major opportunities that were often offering 50. So I could really go meet with these indie labels and indie artists and work with them and do 6, 7, 8 projects and have 100,000 opposed to being disrespected and trying to hope to get on a project where I can get, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my thing was really feed the people that I knew and the network that I knew. And I just knew independent artists had a little bit more of where I was trying to go. You know what I'm saying? The bread and the fun, you know.
Yeah, you're not on somebody else's timing.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's kind of how my mentality was with production and business.
Yeah.
And we split everything 50-50.
Yeah.
You know, you do a simple deal memo. We ain't got to get no lawyers involved. You know, it's just easier.
Simpler.
Yeah.
And then also, too, you know, as a hustler, you just be like, bro, just give me $5,000. You go sell whatever you sell. You keep all that. I don't care.
Yeah. So you still getting what you want.
Like, give me my bread. You go out and make all the money off of it, tour, do all what you want to do. It's a calculated risk. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, it's probably the best move I've ever made. I'm more wealthy now. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it is what it is.
I mean, even these big opportunities you're talking about, I hear tons of stories where they even fail to pay the producers, or they screw the producers. I'm like, then what's the point?
Right.
You know, or they find some bullshit paperwork to find and screw you fucking over.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's happening now is, you know, you meet a lot of youngins, right? And youngins being, you know, let's just say 18 to 25.
Yeah. Right.
And they're more concerned with the plaque and the placement opposed to the publishing and the money. That makes sense?
That does make sense.
They want the plaque for IG. They want to say, yeah, I got a placement on this.
They just want the clout.
But they're not getting no publishing, no backing, no money.
They probably don't own their masters.
They don't. Somebody else own a record. And so that's kind of where, you know, I knew things were taking a turn. And that's why I said I'm always just going to kind of keep down the path that I'm on, because I don't care about no plaques. I don't care about none of that. That shit can't feed no kids. You know what I'm saying?
For real, nah.
I'm plaque that's made out of plastic, glass, whatever, cannot feed a kid.
Not at all.
But if you're publishing right, you got $5-10 grand up front. You put it in a 529 for your kids, or you put it in an investment account or money market or a marketing, like you invest in, right?
You make an actual move other than
Exactly.
striving for something that's not gonna give you your money's worth.
Exactly. So, you know, it's all about what you into it for. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, the independent route is something that I've looked into way before I even knew I wanted to start taking music seriously. It was like, if I ever decided to, I just knew I would be independent, just because, like you said, I have that self-respect for myself. And at the same time, it's like, I can dictate where my sound goes and who my sound is around. At the same time, also have a better eye for controlling my money, because it's not some, you know, huge record label that's, you know, giving you false promises.
you got to call 5 or 6 people to try to hunt your check down. You know, you're going to owe them money. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's funny style, man. And, you know, some people want that, but I look at it like in 2021, if you're still trying to get a record deal, you're basically in it for fame. It's really, you're not in it for anything else.
Yeah.
Because of the way the money is working.
The way bro, it's at 2021 and people still signing deals and getting jerked. And we have
That's crazy. I get surprised by
40, 50 years of examples of people.
That's movies. That's movies.
Cadillac records. See, like you got all these stories, and people still want to get deals, and they think they're going to be different.
Why do you think they want? Why is it the fame then? Why are they choosing the fame over the substance?
That's the artist.
Money talks. I mean, if you're...
But fame doesn't necessarily mean money.
But you get an advance, you know. So if someone shows up, say, hey, I'll give you $1 million right now, just sign this thing.
What's the average advance looking like in major industry?
I would say anywhere, depending on you know where you at with your career, it can be up to 250, maybe 500 to $1 million. You know what I'm saying? And then you hear all these people saying they sign these $5 million deals. That's not all cash.
Yeah,
it's like some of it is marketing, some of it is this and that. So it's a package. It's not cold cash. But it varies. You know, it varies. I can't really give you a solid number. It just kind of varies on where you are in terms of as an artist, your popularity, how many views you get, your likes, your followers. So it's different now, but and you know, just for anybody listening, I don't profound to be any type of industry professional at all. I just know what I hear.
But you in the
conversations.
Game. But you in the game though.
And I wouldn't necessarily say I'm in the game because there's a lot going on that I definitely don't know about, or I'm not and I don't want to know about.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I understand you. Yeah.
But at the same time, like You know, in 20, if anybody's trying to get a deal, you just know, like, bro, yeah, you want the fame. Right. You want to be on TV. You want to
the attention.
You want the attention. You want to be, you know, it's just what it is. It's what it is. Nobody can tell me different.
I understand. Hey, I understand that. I share your view as well.
Well, I feel like.
Sam, do you have a question?
I was just gonna say, comment on that. I feel like the only way majors would be useful as an accelerator, where you're already somewhere and you can now bring some to the table, and you have leverage to say, you're not gonna fuck me like these other artists, right?
But what leverage do you have? I mean,
well,
I'm saying like the last signing like that would have been Cash Money, right? Wouldn't have been not Cash. It was Cat Baby. Didn't he have like?
Baby did that. It was a label situation, a partnership, and he got what 30, supposedly 30-something million up front. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't necessarily say. I wouldn't necessarily say that was a different situation. I mean, they had their own label and imprint, but strictly just say, you know, he wanted to go get a deal and meeting with people. Yeah. You know, he would have more leverage if he had his own following. He put out his own albums and sold thousands on his own. He would have more leverage in the negotiating of the structure of that deal. If he was brand new and they just saw him on Instagram and said, "Oh yeah, you're gonna be a star," and he had no albums out and nothing, right, and they were saying, "We're gonna put all this bread behind you," then his deal gonna look different than if he was the other way around.
And you can afford to pass up $250,000 when you see it's a terrible deal when you have leverage.
Hold up. Nino Green. Nino. Who trying to smoke? Death to pretenders. Niggas try to put me in the blender, no surrender. Off with a nigga head if we try to enter. I be laying across the bed with your bopper in the winter. She proper, I sock it in her. The profit skyrocket, you cop it and chop it in her. Small amounts, you rock it and get them all about. Fiends do the dance like Puff when we come through. Powder for they nose and some weed for they lungs too.
Baby, be patient, my mama singing, his mama praying. Key scales, niggas playing like Amadeus. Night train of thought is circulating, my circle made it. Work on the table, nigga, we purple taping. Spare tires broke the fence at the crazy lady. Shoulders burner, made a burden out of something perfect. Was it worth it? Was it good? What's the purpose? Beneath the surface, got a lot of niggas nervous.
Yup, Rian African tablets try not to ruin the plastic. Slit the neck, let it drain, can't feed a rabbit. Midnight desert drop, dump them next to the cactus. Don't bury Babylon, let the vultures have at it. My mic's embodied like Edit Touffet and Black Magic. Insulin, pin out for blood, bend them backwards. Increments got potential immersed in crack barracks. I'm Nicky Knuckles in the bucket when I smash tracks. My archive, audio, apartheid. Write rhymes that wallfly the day that the God died. I'm able. I'm cocaine on the table. Been the truth in the fable since the cradle. My flow need a ladle, so serve me, maybe. Leaf in the streets cause my reaper look burgundy. I can give a fuck if a fuck nigga heard of me. I keep it low. I roll the tree up and I breathe it slow. Nino!
Martin had a dream on how to be a king, but Rachel did too with a triple beam. Corona sick, my aroma is that of a stoner. Holy hover, the streets is watching from on the corner. These fucking vultures is flying over the fucking culture. We busting loose, Chucky Brown, I'm a go-goer. Violin sing, pulling on the strings. 98 bullshit, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, 24/7 we squirted the observant. All for the finest service. Deliver dope through verses. Sipping designer bourbon with a fisherman's purpose. If the shit don't wave right, we ain't working. Yo, the verbiage is neighborhood disturbance. The purpose got mud. This is tones of a murder. The half plank came off a brown bag cursing. Yellow fix, we call it dirt piss from the serpent.
So I have a question I'd like to ask a lot of people. Who are your top 3 influencers and why?
That's a tough one. You do that.
Me go?
Oh, he's done it before. He was on the show last time.
He's trying to stall time.
You trying to stall it? He did.
All
He
right,
did.
you want someone else want to go?
Yeah.
All right.
You want to go?
I go, shit.
Yeah. I don't think you never answered that.
I mean, I would have to say my number one influence has got to be, I want to say just.
I think you have answered this, brother.
Oh yeah, in our podcast, yeah.
He answered it too, man.
Hey, but it changed. My view be changing.
It changed already?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Let's see what these new three are.
I mean, Edgar Allan Poe.
You said that before?
Yeah. Just because of the way he expressed his emotion. And you look at somebody that's been through so much turmoil, just like crazy shit's happening to them, and how beautifully he just expresses all of that for somebody to read. I mean, I found that admirable. And, you know, I've tried to translate it within my work myself best as I can, you know, only way I really know how to do. And yeah, that's number one. Two, I want to say Kurt Cobain, just because, you know, he's low key, was independent, you know, just doing his own thing, just playing how he was playing. He got the notoriety, and then it just skyrocketed. His sound was just completely different, and it just molded into a bunch of stuff that people my age are now doing, like full-length projects of punk songs, just with like punk and trap, just stuff like that. A lot of electronic-based stuff. You go on TikTok, there's like 17 Kurt Cobain remixes of It Smells Like Teen Spirit. Just the crazy stuff they're doing with his work. And I respect it. I mean, I don't know how he would feel his number one song in like an EDM remix, but
hey, some of them joints be kind of hard. I heard Future, the Molly Percocet joint.
Yeah.
That's kind of dope. Who's in number three?
Number three, I gotta say Malcolm X.
Malcolm X. Two of them are new. Malcolm X. That's dope.
I've been reading up on Malcolm X just a little bit.
Okay.
Not the book, just like watching like YouTube videos
Check
and
out the
stuff
book.
like
The book
that.
is fire. Book is fire.
Just I guess he's just like his power, the way he just operated, just like he had that seriousness, like he was about what he was about. And I tend to lean towards his more like not aggressive tendencies when it comes to stuff like that. Just like just the way that he expressed it. You know what I mean?
That's an awesome list right there. You know what I'm saying? That's an awesome list.
And it's always changing too, you know.
It has changed for two people. That was dope.
I was just about to say my shit continues to evolve. You can't I can't dwindle my shit down to 3 people.
Yeah.
It's impossible. I take from so many different people. Even judo, I would say, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but like,
for real.
I take from so many people. I can't say these are the 3, but these are the 3 I have in mind currently. I'll tell you.
And that 3. There you go. Thank you. What's the 3 in mind?
First one I would say is Muhammad Ali.
Okay.
For obvious reasons. I mean, passionate dude, went against the grain, fought until he couldn't fight no more. Literally, he couldn't move anymore. I mean, the guy is just fucking passionate, and you know.
Bad dude.
Also fought for what he thought was right at the time as well.
Went to jail,
Yeah, you know, exactly. Gave up his medal, title, all that stuff. Refused to fight in a war that he didn't believe in, that sort of thing. I mean, that's admirable.
Number 2.
Another person I've been reading up on, David Goggins. I don't know if you guys, you know David Goggins.
Navy SEAL, right?
Yeah, Navy SEAL, a lot of things. But yeah, Navy SEAL, was it like Ultimate...
Wow.
Triathlon.
Oh, was he the guy that like broke his shins for like the military like timed running thing, and then he just continued running?
Yeah, he was out of shape, very out of shape, and got trained. He was never supposed to be a Navy SEAL. Met the criteria, went through the training. Like Slim is like he's like the one who his mentality is crazy. So.
Yeah, he's one of the most mentally tough people on the planet.
Yeah, no.
You know, he's like, so I love, like, one of his quotes. I don't know if it's his quote, but he always attributed to him the 40% rule, which is whenever you feel like you're so exhausted that you can't do another set, you can't do another minute of work, you're actually only 40% of your total capacity, because your mind automatically limits you to prevent pain and conserve energy. That's what it's designed to do. So
I believe that.
I tested it. Even at the gym, I'm like, okay, I'm going to just keep going and see what happens. And then I did like twice what I would normally think I'd be able to do. You know, so it's like,
That works.
Your body will tell you.
All right, so
when
number
it's
three.
done.
Number three. What's number three? Come on, I got the Judas.
All right, yeah. I'm trying to give him a little more.
I think he's ready. I think he's got it.
Okay.
I think he's ready.
Eric Thomas?
Yeah, no.
Bro, I've told you about Eric Thomas.
No, you did not.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
Really?
No, you did not.
Man, he's a motivational speaker. I've listened to him since I was like 18, 17. Dude's remarkable. He used to be homeless and found his way up. Motivating people. He goes to schools and talks about how hard you need to work. He's the one who came up with, if you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. I don't know if you've heard that quote.
That's a new one for me. I like
that's
that
the one he created.
If you want
to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. You know.
Breathe. I'm gonna keep.
So he was making a story about. You have to watch it, but basically, like, how important is breath to you? That's how success has to equate to that.
Well.
To how badly you need your next breath, aka every few seconds.
I agree. I agree with that.
So he's very sort of passionate and motivating it.
So Judah, after you heard all those, brother.
Hey man, like that's a tough list. I mean, I'm familiar with a lot of those people that they say. I mean, I think it's a little different too for me at this age. Is I think I mean the inspiration, of course, my father. You know what I'm saying, but. At this age, it's kind of like, you lived a life, you kind of got through some things, and it's I understand it at 18, and how old are you?
25.
25. I understand it at that age, right? Because those are your formative years.
Yeah.
And so you're trying to find different ways to know who you are as a young man or a young woman, and so I get that and get through those. When you get to a certain age, sometimes you just be like, I read what I wanted to read. I agreed or I didn't agree. I agreed at the time when I was 19, but now I'm 20, let's say 35 or 40. I don't agree with that anymore. So I can't really say who inspired me from like a list of what you brothers have said, but just creatively, I would say like Pharrell, who I had an opportunity to meet a few times, worked in Hovercraft a few times. Outside of music, he's just all around like just creative. You know what I'm saying? And you just kind of always, when you're around, you want to soak up as much energy and game as possible. So Pharrell inspires me. I mean, I don't, I really don't. I don't have too many. You know what I'm saying? Father was one. Pharrell
too. And if it's,
I mean, authors and different things. I read different things at certain points.
What kind of books you like to read?
Like The Alchemist, or like, of course, we all read The Art of War. And you read those things. They inspire you at that point in time to get through whatever you're getting through.
Right.
But as far as like a lifelong inspiration, when you get to a certain point in life, a lot of those things change at some point. So, I get it at a certain age, but. We just read stuff when we is hungry for motivation. When you wake up and you're not really motivated that day, you may go look at my man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. To get what you need.
Yeah, I understand.
Right?
I understand.
It was drilled in your fucking head.
Right, but then you get to a certain age where you don't need no motivation to get up. You just get up and you motivated.
I understand what
you
you're
get
saying.
what I'm saying.
I'm at your age, so I know exactly what you're saying.
So it's a little different when you reach a certain point in life.
But I like how you phrase it though. Mm-hmm. That was smooth because I know how that feels. I'm exactly there. I know exactly what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Waking up gets me up.
Yeah,
I'm happy with it, and I wake up and I'm just like.
Yeah,
right.
And you want to get stuff done.
Yeah.
I want to get stuff done today. That's what I got my plan. Boom, 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 boom. And it's like breathing, like you said. It's like breathing. So, but sometimes when you 25 or 26 and you in a transitioning phase, you don't know if you want to get up, or you don't have that motivation mentally, physically, and you do need something. So
you got to get up, dog.
Yeah, you got to. So
what got you into the music game? And then we're gonna start getting ready to wind down. I know I'm happy to have you here, but I don't want to keep you too long. But I know we're gonna go far here.
Yeah. What got me into music is I just. I'll stop playing ball. My homie and that I went to college with in Pittsburgh, he took me to his house in Indiana for the weekend because I'm in Pittsburgh, couldn't get home. He said, "I'm going home. You want to ride?" I said, "I'll ride." So I went out there to Indiana, and in the basement he had a studio, kind of like the studio we sitting in today, for the podcast. And he had a mixer board and drum machines and all this stuff. And I was like, bro, what's all this? Then he gave me a catalog, and the catalog was called Musician's Friends. And it was a catalog where you can buy drum machines and keyboards and mixers and all that stuff out, and gave it to me. And I just kept looking in there, looking at the prices, looking at everything. But he had a whole studio, and that kind of really sparked my, and we're friends to this day, but that kind of sparked me as a producer. Wow. Then I saw how, like, a drum machine, when I bought my first drum machine, I saw like, okay,
did you buy it off of Music Friends?
I think I bought it off of Musician's Friends, or I probably went to like a Guitar, I don't even know if Guitar Center at the time or something like that. But I bought a drum machine, and I was like, bro, this is how Dr. Dre doing it, or this is how RZA's doing it, or this is how. And then that really just sparked my interest. And then also production was also something that I could do where I didn't need nobody. I could just sit in the room and do it myself. Yeah. Father had records. I messed with the records, you know what I mean? So that kind of really got me into production. And I didn't really take it serious until I stopped playing football, stopped the pro aspirations, got out of that. And then I met a guy named Mac, who recently just passed away. And Mac was 1/3 of a group called BWC. And Mac had a studio, the first black man I knew who had a commercial studio on St. Barnabas Road in Oxon Hill, Maryland. And he had it in a building on the corner. And I met Mac on the Humble, and Mac told me come through, and I went through. He was the very first producer that ever opened up his studio to me. And so I went through, used to kick it, sitting there, chill, talk to him. And that's how I knew, like, okay, so we can own this, we can do this, do that, And he was an inspiration for me at that time, like a real close personal inspiration. And so, I started getting into making beats, and he actually sold me my first Sonic EPS, which is the same EPS that RZA used. You know what I'm saying? So he sold me an Sonic EPS, 16 plus. So I bought it from him, dirt cheap, and I started making beats. And then, I said, okay, how do I sell beats? We just talked about this earlier. How do I sell beats? So back then there was this paper called the City Paper. It's still around. Mm-hmm. So I used to go on the City Paper, and I found a way to, kind of scam putting free ads in the City Paper. And so I used to put free ads in the City Paper. I used to mail it in every Wednesday, and get them placed in the City Paper. And I used to get so many calls off the ad in the City Paper. And I was in the back of my father's house making beats. And then, and so, I used to have people come through, you'd be a little skeptical, but whatever, you try to hustle it, figure it out. So then a guy came through, and I didn't know him, but he was just wanted to hear some beats, and we would sit back there talking, and he playing beats. And then one visit, probably like a second or third visit, he asked me, he said, how much you want for that? And when that motherfucker said, how much you want for that, it was a wrap.
It was a wrap. That was it.
As soon as he asked me how much I wanted for it, I knew I could make money off of it.
That's right.
And so, I think I charged him like $75. And then he came back like a week or two. Then he asked me, how much you want for that? And then that's when I was like, nah, those the 75. But these right here, these the 150 joints.
That's right.
You get what I'm saying?
That's right.
All right, well, pull out all this money. Give me 2 of those. Give me one out like this joint right here. Can you change this up? And then that just kept happening. And then that's when I kind of learned that, okay, I can make beats. I can make money off beats. And then that's when I learned the hustle of production. And then I was fortunate enough when I was at Mac's studio, I met the owner of the building. And he always said, man, I always see you up here. What you doing up here? Why I said, I come see Mac. He said, oh, yeah, you make music? I said, yeah. He said, I said, I'm going to give me a studio in here one day. He said, oh, yeah, well, I got a room around the corner. It's free. It's empty. You want it. I charge, you got the first month, 2 free. But after that, it's going to charge. I said, I want it. And then that's when I started my first studio, like 99, 2000, in a commercial space. And, I was very excited, and I was just doing what I was doing in the back of my father's house out that studio, selling beats, doing mixtapes. And, you know, 20 years later, I still got my studio now. The actual building that my studio is in, I own it now. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So it's a commercial industrial space. Thank you.
That's fire.
Thank you.
Real
So
estate.
yeah, it's commercial space. It's in Clinton, and so 20 years, man. And
Wow.
you know,
And that's
so
not only one studio. You have
it's
multiple.
one studio. I just built the first solar power studio in DC, Maryland, Virginia, and so I built the first 10 by 15 solar power studio, full self-sustainable. You know, you can live out of it, do all that. So I built that. It took me about a year and a half. Then I have a studio in Georgia too that I'm partners with. So, yeah, you know, just you know but that kind of process sparked me off to doing it. So you know where I'm doing it still now to this day.
In the city paper.
City paper, man.
That's fire.
Free ads in the city paper.
You figured out.
How'd you
like,
scam it?
How long did it take you to figure that out?
Because I called and talked to a lady, and you know she probably slipped up and said the wrong
She
thing.
gamed you.
He was
And
like,
then,
oh.
yeah, she said something. Then I said, okay, well, if I word it like this, I can put a free ad in there.
Word.
But I just had to word it a certain way where I wasn't showing that I'm trying to make money off of it.
Nice.
Educational
And
purpose.
then so I learned it.
You
You
think
know what
that
I'm
still works
saying?
to this day?
Probably won't. I don't even know if anybody read the city paper anymore.
Nah,
You'd be
for real.
surprised. Some people are on print still and addicted to it.
And you know what's funny is like DJ Heat she's a DJ for the Washington Mystics and was on 95.5. She every time I see her, she always say, Judah, I remember the city paper, your ads in the city paper. and that's just how like hard I was going at the city paper. I was going
free
hard.
ad.
Free ad. I would get it every Thursday to see if my ad was in there.
Wow.
And it was
That's
just
original
real
social
big.
media.
Yeah, it was huge for me. And then after that, I just started working with everybody, finding artists. And also one thing that kind of helped me get my name out there before you know we did Studio 43 was I was doing mixtapes. And what I would do is I would get all the local artists and bring them to the studio, produce their songs, put together a mixtape. I would do the artwork, press up CDs, and I would sell it to them for like $2, $3. And then so I would get like 1,000 CDs pressed up and sell them 200-300 at $2 a piece. And then they would in turn go out there and sell it for $10. So, you know, once again, it's the crack game all over again. It's the wholesale game. So that's really where I started like these things called Judah Presents. And I remember one summer, or like really 1 year probably, I probably put out like almost 90 mixtapes. And it had like local artists on there, and I put them in the mom and pop stores. And literally in my old studio, I used to have a line. Like it was like a line of people, artists just in the hallway, just waiting to record. And it was crazy. That's how busy it was. And I mean, that studio was so small. Yeah. But I used to have a line of people in the hallway just waiting to record and do what they needed to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it was awesome. It was an awesome experience. And that was the time where I really kind of, you know, started getting my name out there and hustling it and Judah, you gotta go holler at Judah. And I was only charging probably $25 an hour at that time. So yeah, that was some of the things that I did to just try to get the name out there.
Well, you put in $10,000 easily. You said $10,000 to become a master. During that time, how do you feel about those times? You miss those times? Do you sometimes want to go back to those times? Like, how do you feel now? You said you're at this level now. How do you feel like thinking back on those? Do you feel like the game is or music is missing that? People with that kind of passion? I
mean, the $10,000, but also too, I was thinking like I never went to school for it. You know what I'm saying? I really just got a keyboard, a mixer, and started doing it.
But you started going to school for it though, because when you buy those things and you start really learning that's an education.
Right. And so, do I miss those times? I miss the essence of it, the pureness of it. I miss sitting in there and talking and figuring things out. Like I talked to Wale the other day, you know, an album release and congratulate him and everything. And we were talking about, you know, he would just come to the studio, find a loop it up, he'll freestyle, that'll be a song. And I really miss those days of where you could just, you know, it just wasn't so focused on becoming something. It was just really just focused on making a dope record or making a record. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And so, but you know, and that's what my tag on Instagram, Judah used to make beats, because also too, I'm not 19 or 20 anymore. So I don't sit in the studio all day and eat bad and make beats. And, you know what I'm saying?
Bad, dog.
Nah, I don't.
Bad hurt,
Yeah, I don't do that anymore. Before I used to do that, homies. Like I used to sit in there all day, make beats, eat horribly, make beats, drink, chill, hang,
fire though.
and just
I heard your stuff
work,
that you had
work,
out
work, and it was fun.
I had a question
I'm about
for
to
you.
say,
What was your longest recording session?
Probably about 3 days.
God
4
damn.
days, 3 days. And so also too, I like that too, because I got people now that'll come see me and they want to do an EP or do a project, and we'll do a project in 2 days. Just sit in the studio, make beats, and that's how I like to work, opposed to spread that over 2 months.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I like that kind of vibe too. So I really, you know, I can do it, but I can do it moderately. I'm not in it every day anymore. And I really don't have that time, and I don't really live that life like that anymore. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's different, man. But that was a great time, and it was those formidable years where you just
You in
learn
it.
yourself, you learning how you work, you learning what's good. And I was doing it so much I got sick one time. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy that you say that, because about a year ago, me and my friends that made music, we put together an album for me. And it was 2 months worth of just like being in the studio, waking up, going, recording, going to sleep for 2 hours, like just brushing teeth, showering, going back. And I got a really bad like migraines during the end of it, like almost like blinding migraines. Like I couldn't even open my eyes for the most part. But I also do understand you when you say that you miss it, because like when you just really in it, you in there for like hours. You ain't got nothing else to worry about but making this music. There's also that flow that also allows you to create shit you wouldn't be able to create, as opposed to you walking into the studio, staying there for 2 hours, then dipping.
You know what happened to me recently though? There was something that happened to me where there were some artists, and you know, you may be a little too young to know these artists, but they come from a crew called Low Budget Crew. And the Low Budget Crew are infamous and well known throughout the area, you know, years ago as far as hip hop. And people that have come out of the Low Budget Crew, like a producer named Odyssey, who's real big in terms of like just being a producer and artist, Kev Brown, YU, you know, things like that. And so a couple guys from that group, I've always known that side of music, but they, you know, they said they wanted to rap. Right? They want to get back in the studio. And so now they use my studio, and I'm getting that feeling back again, right? Because they're making albums in 2 sessions. It's the camaraderie, you know, we're all kind of the same age, and to see those guys excited about music again is making me excited, because now I'm not producing them. I'm just recording and mixing and mastering their stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not producing it because they're producing their own stuff, but they're making it on MPCs and they recording. Oh, lay that verse down. Yeah, that's cool. We don't need no hook on this. Nah. I'll put a hook right there. What you got? Oh, you got
it's fluent. It's fluent.
So what I mean by they saved my life, because I've known them for almost 15, 20 years, and you know, they said they want to rap again, and they came back out and they put out 2, Nino Green and another project called God Hates Gucci by Let the Dirt Say Amen. These are projects that are out right now, and they're doing extremely well. And, you know, it just saved my life, because what happened was it got me back in that flow that I used to be in. And I'm not producing it, but I'm recording it, and I am producing it, because I'm telling them, yeah, do that right here. Nah, that don't do it. Take this part out. Boom, boom, boom. So I'm vocally producing it. But that shit just really got me back in that vibe again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just around it again.
Yeah, and you know, and I'm. It's good to see them excited about rapping again.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? Because these dudes have traveled the world, and they, you know, they back to rapping again. And
Yeah.
so,
That's
it's things
spark.
like that. And also too, like, we never worked together back then. As a producer or a studio, we never worked together back then. And then all of a sudden, here we are working at this stage in our careers.
Still doing it
and
at a high level.
For them to be excited, because we always knew each other, we just never worked together.
Yeah.
You like to be excited about that, Joy.
Yeah, because and we always crossed paths. And I remember one time I was in London, and I'm going into a Starbucks in West London, not playing the regular, and then here come Odyssey walking out of the Starbucks. So it's two dudes from Maryland, DC, in London,
probably like
working, producing, and this is the type of it's just amazing that all these years and we still can get together, and it changed my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To get me going again and get me energized. So it's things like that I cherish, I like, I love, and it makes things awesome for me. You know what I'm saying?
That passion.
Yeah. And these dudes are doing their projects are phenomenal, and they just performed at the Kennedy Center. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
awesome, man.
yeah,
Show,
yeah.
man.
You please,
You
I'm a link y'all. You know what I'm saying?
that. Yeah.
But they, these dudes and they got bars, and they got a long, rich history and music.
Some new stuff to binge, yo.
Yeah. So, it's things like that, man, and you're just having fun.
For real.
Let me ask you 2 more questions. With DMV show, with DMV folks about DMV entrepreneurs. Where you from in the DMV, and what is one of your favorite things about being from here?
Well, I'm from Northeast. Like I was telling you earlier, I lived in Capitol Heights. I lived in Suitland. You know what I'm saying? But Northeast, Cap Heights, Suitland. One thing that I love about here is if I'm from DC, and it has changed over the years, but I remember at one point, if you're from DC, you would go to Vegas, or you would go to New York, or you would go somewhere, and you can tell if somebody is from home. You know what I'm saying? They had a look, they had a lingo. But I just always loved the fact that we had our own thing going on, our own style, our own music. You know how many places don't even have their own music?
I've learned that as I got older.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We have our own music.
And it's ours. I'm now officially from DMV. I've been here so long. I've learned to enjoy it. At first, as a young man, when I first got from New York, it was hard for me. But Chuck Brown was my first influence. But I loved Hey Sexy Lady. That literally was I was like, okay, this is dope as hell. Like it was. I love that song, by the way. It was a very good song. So yeah, DMV, the only place. And when I used to travel outside of here, they used to tell me there was no parties like out here. I partied in New York, I partied in Cat Party, a lot of places, and people, Miami, everywhere. People would say, nah, DC. Party.
DC had the parties. We had the music. You can go to a club and hear all your regular music, then you can go to the go-go. And then you can go to a cabaret.
Yeah, cabaret.
You know what I'm saying? So
what happens to cabaret, son?
Then you go to a museum.
Then you go to a museum.
Have you been to the cabarets?
Then you go to a museum, right?
You can't go to a museum.
So it's just all that, man. It makes you love it. You know what I'm saying? It just makes you love it and love where you're from. And we're some prideful people. Yeah. We have some of the best musicians because of go-go. You know what I'm saying? And jazz. But also quick thing I wanted to say about DMV, and we talked about artists having issues and everything, but I don't think, and I say this everywhere I go, but DC, Maryland, Virginia, you probably don't realize that we're first generation rappers. You never thought about that, did you? You never thought about that, did you? What I mean by that is, your father, you're 18, did your father rap?
Oh yeah, I wasn't sure. Father, he wasn't in my life.
Okay, I got you. Mother rap. Mother did anything in music? Anything?
Not really, no.
Okay, all right. So what happens is when you go to New York, Bama's like grandparents worked at labels, or DJs. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. When you come to DC, Maryland, our parents and grandparents are government workers, work for Metro, work for the state or federal. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
And so we're really first generation rappers and hip hop producers. My generation. Your background is you probably got friends whose father was a rapper or a DJ.
Yeah.
Or worked at a label. You know what I'm saying? You're second, third generation from New York because y'all had the industry. LA as well.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
But we're all first generation rappers. We probably our second generation rappers are like Booby. I mean, what's my man name? Nucci, who his father Booby was One Way Records, which was a street label back in the day, and now he's an artist named Nucci. So he's second generation. But when you go to places like New York, they like fourth generation DJs and rappers. And so when you really think about the issues that we have here in this area, we're still first generation rappers.
That's a hell of a way to put it.
People, youngins that rap now, their parents wasn't rappers. They were go-go bands, or they hustled, or they worked for federal jobs. So we so far behind in terms of our exposure to the industry. That's why we fail at business a little bit in the industry. We don't quite understand it because we didn't have grandparents and parents that were, you know what I'm saying,
sound in the industry.
In the industry. So when I was talking to people from New York, I'm like, bro, we still first generation. Y'all done grew up, or y'all used to go to parks and the jams with all the rap stars and
Literally, they were out there.
DJs,
They were.
and you will always see a mega star walking down in Brooklyn.
Basketball court.
Yeah.
At the barbershop.
Yeah.
I did see it at the barbershop.
Y'all like third, New York is third, fourth generation.
I never had anyone put that to me that way.
Bro, we first generation.
But that's also an advantage.
It's an advantage because you're not,
No one ever heard this shit.
You're not hurt. You haven't heard it, but you're also not jaded or stigmatized with
confined to
that stuff. We're still your first generation.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Young first generation.
Yeah, but your parents didn't rap.
No, definitely not.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely not.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny about my family? There's so many parts of my family that are artistic. They just never. The culture restricted them. That's one of the things that.
And that's what I love about.
That's what I talk about. I like. Yes. I'm kind of like a leader in that space where I'm like, you're Arab, you're Middle Eastern, or you're any other fucking ethnicity. Creativity, at least for us, is very stifled, and so. But I just found it interesting that my family is actually very creative. Yeah, but they just never, none of them have pursued it.
They can draw. There's beautiful art in your culture. Think about your culture.
I had cousins I had no idea who like used to rap for like a year or two. I'm like, you used to rap in Arabic? What?
Word.
Yeah, exactly.
You got writers.
What I'm saying is like, but then his parents told him to go be a dentist. Now he's a dentist. You know what I'm saying? So none of them had the courage.
But imagine he wrote you a verse right now. It'd be dope. Have some dental shit.
But he's a first generation. So that's like the difference, man. And so
Do we have a DC sound? Not as strong as like New York or established.
And that's the other downside is that unless it's go-go influence, DC kind of adopted. Back in the day, it used to be like Rap a Lot, Scarface. We love Scarface here in DC. So we imitated Scarface and Rap a Lot at one point. Now our youngest just sound like regular trap drill music or Atlanta trap. But we did have a sound at a certain point, but go-go is infusing that sound. But at the end of the day, all I'm saying is we're first generation rappers and artists. It's just it's what it is.
Yeah.
And when you start thinking like that, then you'll understand like, okay, we got a ways to go. We did some awesome things, but we got a ways to go.
Yeah, we do.
So you got to keep it in perspective.
Brother, thank you for being here, man.
It's all good, man.
I really appreciate
y'all having me.
It is a blessing to have you here. It was worth the wait, man. Thank you for all the game. Thank you for speaking to these young men and giving that.
Bro, I appreciate that.
Valuable information you gave me on so many things. You blew my mind. So
it's all good. Yeah, and it's a small world because this guy, man, used to come to my studio, make the trip. I'm gonna embarrass him, but he used to come to my studio, and he'll tell you I always I treated him always the same way. Just wanted him to learn, wanted him to get better.
He gave me an absurdly low recording rate, and I ripped him off. So he knew I was getting ripped off.
I wanted him to learn, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He has learned.
I felt him. I felt just his energy, and I wanted him to get better and learn. And it wasn't no money thing. I just wanted him to get better, and I knew he had the passion. Anybody that's gonna ride on a train for an hour and some change and bust it and then walk. I gotta show you love. You know what I'm saying? So
I appreciate that.
But yeah, he used to come through and he'll tell you like, man, we just get in there and talk and figure it out and work, get better. and that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? And Mac did that for me. I'm doing that for somebody else, another artist. So
yeah, when Judah told that story, I was like, man, this mirrors exactly the kind of experience I had.
Yeah, so it's a small world, but you know, we also just gotta watch out for everybody and make sure it's a win-win for everybody. And then I was able to get a little something from it. He was able to learn from it, network, and so if he never did that, we never would be here today. You get what I'm saying? And I never would have met you two brothers and my man over there. I would never have been here today. So, you know, by him doing that, we all here today and we forever connected. You know what I'm saying? So,
I appreciate that.
All good.
I'm going to pick your brain.
All good.
A lot of information. So if you could tell everybody where you can find you at once again, and then we're going to exit.
Man, you can find me on Twitter at Judah on the Beats, and then IG is Judah Used to Make Beats. That's the only two places you can find me. My number's been the same for 20-something years, so people got it, they got it. But, you know, I'm around. I respond, I holler, you know, whatever, man. You know?
Word. I appreciate
it's
you.
all good, man. All good.
Man.
I appreciate y'all having me. Some awesome podcasts, awesome folks in here. So
I appreciate that.
No break. Where can we find you at, sir?
You can find me on all social media platforms at VVITCHES__.
Yeah, he's right, guy. Where can we find you at, my brother over there? Hey, yo, plug the new song, man.
Why is it the new 2 underscores? You didn't have the 1 underscore?
Yeah, they ain't let me choose the username.
Yeah. Hey, you gotta follow what they say.
Yeah, you can find me at Husam Music. You could just Google it, Husam HUSAM Music. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. I got a new song out called "Make It." It's on all platforms. It's ambient alternative, and it feels amazing. So.
It's awesome. It's awesome. And shout out to my boy at Rex Corollas, the engineer extraordinaire over there.
Dope spot,
man. Yeah. I love this guy. I met this guy full, so tell you about this guy. His guy's great. Shout out to Rex at Rex Corollas, man. At Rex Corollas on Instagram. Shout out to my at Quana Diva Violence. She wasn't able to make it. Had a little bit of mix up. Quana, we missed you, but we're going to get you for the next time. And I'm at Super Saiyan Santi. Thank you guys for tuning in. Shout out to Japan. We're now in Canada, Ireland, and we're in the double and triple digits in these countries now. So thank you guys. It's been a great month this month, and keep tuning in. Peace. Thank you, sir, man. That was awesome, bro. Good, man. I appreciate it. Finally got it.
I need you to do me a favor. I need you to turn to your neighbor and say, let the dirt say amen. Let the dirt say amen. See, we're not going to pass around a collection plate. We don't want your money. We need your mind.
Yes, sir.
All right. And I need you and you.
Dear God, I wonder can you save me from seeing evil CeeLo Green? Does that mean that I'm crazy? I see my peoples lean on me like Morgan in the 80s. Cause we the people busy boning, smoking, getting lazy. We thuggish, rugged, sluggish. Ain't it something? How we grown accustomed? Fuck them. We don't love them. We just want it, but we never want it. Let's keep it 100. My Benjamin Button. I put my love below the speaker box playing percussion. I roll the dice and roller coaster. I'm pushing for something. They can't compete with DMC. I'm running. My razor slicing open mic, Michael Tyson confessions. Plus us as deacons and the reverends we having a wedding. They get divorced at the core. Ain't nobody else's fault. With no teachers, they got bored. Graffiti bridge, see the chalk. Read the paper, see the signs. But I guess no GPS can change your mind. Going left with no directions, doing fine. Do the crime, do the time. Rolex, Bo Jackson, wait a minute, this is Bo Flex. Split cannabis, can I spit like a patient cause I'm sick? Scandalous, handle it like a candle when it's lit. Or an amethyst shining beneath a diamond, filthy rich. They was fucking up commas and screaming like they're still a bitch. So you love her, leave her, fuck her, squeeze her. She's a diva, she's at least a Molly Easter. She insecure about what that future holds. See earn signs down the road, but we used to those.
Church, we've been mumbling. Brother Lazarus, the Lord said, take the call. We've been mumbling. We've been mumbling. We're trying to get our tongues back.
This is all mind, body, soul, 9-shotty blow, fine pot of gold, found by the stove, red, yellow, go, dread, let them know, red, feta dough, make cheddar slow, spread, let us go, incredible, yo, this is what I mean, an anti-nigga machine, ain't got no radio edits, baby, we don't come clean, yet I stay on my J-Brew, a dirty, rotten scoundrel, on the south side in a big chair like a child with the council, I pray for the homeless, they say, don't wait for the moment, hey, thanks for the warning, I say grace in the morning, and I ain't perfect, but I'm certain it's working, smoking purple for emergency purposes, and I know where the surface is, and I'm over my nervousness, and I'm way too determined, bitch, and I'm preaching my sermon trick like Eric and Parrish Smith, and I carry a pair of fists that I tear up a terrorist, especially a specialist, man, you know what the method is. Nigga, I was California, dreaming California, but ain't no parties in LA without the lime and Rona. Empty beaches, empty bleachers, empty bars, NPCs, see the beach see us, but they can't beat us. We the new leaders of the school, I bust the door open, stomped a hole in the ground and left the floor smoking. Then I said, hold it down, rolling loud, I'm rolling by, ain't nobody in the crowd, they quarantine, nigga, listen to the sound. Savage, bougie, ratchet, sue me for 2 rounds. Surfing through the town as they boo me. Shit, they want me dead like ghosts. You should've read the post. They thought that boy was a saint. Now watch the falling snow. Ayo, let's be Franklin. It's just entertainment. It's all entertainment. I'm making my statement. Wonder where the day went. It's all entertainment. It's just entertainment.
Yo, let me entertain y'all ear right now, yo. If y'all ain't down with this shit right here, fuck y'all. Y'all ain't down for the kids, fuck y'all. Let the church say amen. Or better yet, the dirt say amen.